I'm Coach Nat, and I am here bragging about my clients again because they're fucking awesome. Today I'm with Alice. Alice has been rocking with us for over a year now and has gone through both of our programs, has seen some crazy changes, and above all, has been consistent as fuck. So I wanted to invite Alice to come on and tell us a little bit about their journey and shine as the fitness inspo that you are now, Alice. So welcome. Thanks for being here. Tell us a little bit about you. Give us a little intro.
Yeah, sure. My name's Alice or Chian, depending on if it's easy to say or not. I use they, them pronouns. I'm in Chicago, Illinois. I am from like southern New Hampshire, and I've been doing the gym for more than a year.
Time flies. Well, let's jump right in because I'm curious, what was life like for you before joining the Queer Gym?
I like to think of myself as I could be a more active person, but I wasn't really like doing it very much. All of that kind of lived in like a hypothetical space where I was like, yeah, I could be doing this. Or like I would look at gyms and just be like, yo, I could do that, or I could be signing up for that. And I could be signing up for it and then just like watching $10 leave my bank account every month and I wouldn't actually really be doing much with it. So yeah.
You're like, it sounds nice,
Yeah,
but
would I actually be following through? I don't know.
makes sense. Okay. And so how would you describe kind of your day to day before legitly, not just hypothetically, becoming active?
It was just very, like, basic, like, I would just go to work, I would come home, I would, like, watch TV or play video games, and then I would, like, go to sleep, and I would keep trying to start these habits, and then I would just sort of leave off with them, and nothing was really sticking, yeah.
What had you tried at that point?
I had tried, like, various things, so, I had signed up for, like, the YMCA to, like, swim. I kept wanting to, but that is just, again, where that sat. It was, like, hypothetical.
Okay. Gotcha. So at what point did you decide, like, okay, we got to take this beyond hypothetical and make this happen?
So, I remember that I had a call with you actually before I even signed on to the QueerGym. Um, and I guess it was before everything blew up in your life, but I remember that, like, I got another email that was like, "Hey, like, I have just recently redone everything about it, and now, like, if you do this and you hit these metrics, then, like, you're gonna get, like, a huge discount." And I was like, "Oh, that would be a huge motivation for me to hit every single training." And so that was exactly kind of what motivated me, especially because I was pretty broke at the time. I was like, 12 classes, $100, but then, like, I can earn the $100 off every month, and so I was like, "100% I think I can do that."
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So like initially the whole model of like come sign up and if you actually come, you earn the discount. That helped with the accountability, that helped with the motivation. Oh, yay, it worked.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, $100 off, absolutely, and it's 12
Yep.
classes for $100. That's a pretty good deal.
So was this your first time doing a virtual gym?
I hadn't done, like, a whole, like, workout class with other people the way that, like, the Queer Gym is set up. It was just, they would give me, like, "Here's what your workout should be this week. Let me know, like, how it's feeling," and I would give feedback, and we would kinda go back and forth, and it was helpful. I'm not saying that it was, like, the worst thing in the world. It was just, like, I could kinda just let it play and just not do it, or I wasn't, like, being pushed in the way that, like, you would, for example. I mean, you're kind of a hard ass now.
Yeah. Okay. So what was your first impression?
My first impression was like, God, this sucks. I hate working out so much. I'm remembering why I don't like working out, and this sucks, and I hate this. But I don't remember if my first class was with you or Taylor, but I think afterwards I was like, this sucks. I also need to make sure I hit 12 of these a month.
How was the community? Because this program seems a little bit different from stuff you've done before because of the live community aspect of it. What was your impression of the community, or how was that impactful for you?
I really love the community. It was, I think, like the first time I had seen so many queer people in like a space, and it was nice to know that like everyone was from kind of everywhere, especially like once we started all being on the same chat. and being able to like look through people's like experiences and just checking in. I remember when there was someone who was like having a hard time and they're like, I feel like I might, backslide or I might go back to old habits. Like, does anyone have any suggestions? And like so many people came out with like suggestions, which is like great. One of the group calls that we did where we were sharing like recipes and stuff, like so helpful. Like it was nice to know that like, oh, these are not just like my problems. These are like everyone's problems. This is very normal for people to go through this stuff.
Shout out to you because you've busted out 176 of these workouts that you quote unquote hate so much. Do you like them now or do you still
I
hate
mean,
them?
I like them more now. Yeah. Well, because like, when you're first working out, like, because your body's not used to it, I think I was so sore afterwards that it was like, "God, I have to do this again," and that's usually where, like, working out kinda loses me, where it often turns into, like, I
Mm.
have to work out even if I'm in pain, and that sucks to, like, push through the discomfort of my muscles aching and then to continue doing it, but then I think, like, even when I did it, I was like, "Oh, this actually is not so bad as long as I am, like, taking things at my own pace," and I usually always try to be pushing myself to do the actual, like, form itself rather than, like, taking kind of and so I think that also conditioned me a little bit more into being like, "Okay, like, this sucks, but, like, I can get through it. It's not so bad anymore." So some of these workouts are rough, but.
Yep. But I mean, you've definitely gotten stronger. You've had some crazy changes physically in terms of your nutrition. I want to talk about what motivated you to upgrade into one on one coaching because I remember our first call. And what I remember the most about it is you were basically like, I want to work on my nutrition, but I also fucking love rice. Like, I don't want to hate food. Like, I remember that very specifically about our call. So, you went from signing up for the workouts, low key hating it, but getting stronger and then upgrading to one on one coaching. What led to that decision?
What I had heard and what I had seen a lot was, like, you can't just work out and that's gonna, like, change your life. You also need to, like, be considerate of, like, the things that you put into your body, and I had just come from, like, a year of, like, my thyroid being really out of control. I had lost, like, a lot of weight very abruptly. It felt really bad for people to be like, "Oh, you look so good," when I was losing weight in such an unhealthy way. And so when I was doing the queer gym, I was like, what would it look like if I really tried to lose this weight, but like in like a healthy way? If I did it by like working out, by being active, by eating healthy. And so because I'd been to some of the master classes. I think I had been to like the meal prep master class, and then I think I had started following you on Insta and, you had posted some stuff about, like, nutrition and things like that, and I was like, "Oh, okay." And then, I think I had done one of your, like, "You have to, like, say this in the comments," and I did, and then you contacted me, like, immediately afterwards, and I was like, "Okay."
I'm on my shit, Alice.
Yes, and that's, I feel like, how I ended up with the coaching.
So, how was that coaching experience for you?
I feel like the coaching experience was pretty good. I'm not gonna say that I wasn't frustrated with it at certain times. In the sense that, like, it was good because without someone to be on me all the time, there was just no way that I was gonna stick to it. Even though that is deeply annoying to me, it was like, I knew that if I wasn't paying someone to be annoying, that I wasn't gonna do it, which I ultimately kind of proved myself correct. I very distinctly remember one time, it was like I think it was, like, the middle of winter last year, it was, like, January or something, and you were like, "Go take your walk." It was, like, 10 at night. I was like, "Fine," and then I literally crawled out of bed, put on my coat, and I took a walk for, like, 30 minutes, and then I came back and I was like, "Okay, I took my walk. You happy?" Um but yeah, it's those are the things that are helpful. It's like, your parents are annoying, but they're trying to help you and they're trying to like create these good habits in you. And it's like, I understand that. That doesn't mean that I don't find this annoying as hell.
I definitely can recall some conversations where I was like, Alice low key fucking hates me right now.
I have never hated you, Nat. There have been times where I've been frustrated, but I have never hated you. I've
Always a
always
joke.
been like, I understand that, Nat, like I'm literally paying them to do this.
I also want to give you credit because my job is to have sometimes tough conversations, right? And I could tell that some of them were frustrating, right? But you also were receptive. And once you processed and sat with that, you were like, okay, this needs to happen. And I want to give you credit for that because not everybody has the same reaction to accountability, right? Everybody wants accountability, but not everyone can handle accountability. And I think you did a great job of handling it and applying the changes you had to make. And you saw some great results. So, I think and you live in fucking Chicago where it's cold as fuck and you have full on fucked up seasons and you were still showing up season after season after season. So
Yeah,
that's
the summer was actually the hardest for me because I don't mind taking walks in the winter, but suck. I hate sweating so much.
so what kind of changes have you seen since you joined?
I usually do the morning workouts on Monday, Wednesdays, and the evening workouts on Wednesdays. So because I start my day with it and start my week with it, it's a really good orientation for like my head. It's like, okay, I am awake. I am putting my body through this. I'm doing this right now. Let's do this. And if I am not doing that, then I'm like, I feel really weird. Like I feel like kind of logy and it just like something feels off today. And I think a couple of times, like if I haven't done it, I get it's it's strange. Like it's like I'm not energized, but also it's like a weird fatigue that takes me if I haven't started my week that way and just wanting to be more active. Like there's like an energy in me that I have to like get out somehow. There was like one day where I was so antsy, admittedly, a lot of caffeine, but also it was like I don't think I've like done this today, so I think I need to like go out and I need to just like walk for like an hour and then I'll be back and then I like literally sat down and I just like was working, actually focused working for like 2 straight hours.
Yeah.
Which doesn't always happen, but it was like, I don't know, something that day just clicked in me and I was like, okay, I have to like get this energy out and I need to like expend it somewhere. So definitely like overall I have more energy and I want to be using it more often. And oh, I can do a push-up now, which is great because initially when I joined, I was not able to do like an actual like from the toes push-up. That was always kind of like my goal. Like, hey, if I can do like a push-up, which I have literally never done before, I've never been able to do a push-up, like a typical push-up.
Congrats. That's awesome.
Yeah, when I first did one, I was like, oh my God, I did it. I did a push.
Everybody remembers their first push up. That's a big
Yeah,
deal.
it felt like a huge accomplishment, especially for me who has never done a push-up before.
How has your relationship with food changed for you?
So definitely I'm just like more aware of how I eat and what I eat. Like it just like when now oftentimes when I given like options of like there's that like John Mulaney joke where it's like, what do you want as a side? Do you want fries, the most unhealthy food ever, or do you want a salad? And it's like, oftentimes my default was to be like, well, I only live once, so I would like the fries, please. And not to say that that has completely changed, but more frequently now, I definitely am like, "Oh, I should have a salad and probably make sure that that salad has, like, some protein in it." Like, if it's got edamame or if it's got, like, tofu or chicken, that would be even better. And I think, like, the first time I think it was, like, I was eating something and I was like, "You know what? I'm not gonna put rice in this. I'm gonna just have it on a bed of, like, greenery." The moment that I saw those macros on, like, the meal tracker, I was like, God damn it. Which it just sucks because rice is such a good food and it tastes good, and as an Asian, it's you just eat it with every meal. My default is to just eat, like, protein with rice, and it was like, it does mean that the macros are difficult to balance if you are just eating so much white rice. So, definitely just, like, the consciousness of it, and then also being able to be like, "Okay, is that the decision that I wanna make right now? Like, what's that gonna look like later?" And will I feel good about it later? Which is kind of what has affected a lot of how I eat.
Yeah. So, okay. So you have basically did an awesome job with the one-on-one coaching. Definitely learned a lot, raised your awareness and your consciousness and your knowledge around nutrition. Been more consistent across the board with everything, even when it gets really hot. And this month, you just changed your membership back to the training only. Like, at what point were you like, okay, I got this. I think I'm ready. Let's graduate.
I know what I'm supposed to eat and I know what I'm supposed to do, and, like, I will stick to those things for my life. I can do that. It's not unreasonable. It's not me being like, "I'm gonna take this information, I'm just gonna dump it into the trash." It's like, okay, I'm aware of, like, these various macros of, like, what we eat and what I should be eating more, and I think one of the bigger things was, like, everything in moderation. And again, sort of like, okay, these habits are in place. I know that this is what I should be sticking to throughout the season.
Yeah, because the whole concept is like for you to get the knowledge, build a habit, get into consistency, dedicating 6 months, a year to that. That should be enough. And now, from this point on, it's really just about you being consistent. And it does sound like you've been able to make these habits a lifestyle for you. So I think that's awesome. Um, I'm happy that, joined the community, you leveled up with the coaching, and then you're gonna stay part of the community and keep working towards, maintenance now and continuing to get stronger. So, I mean, damn, like you came in here and you did the damn thing. The consistency's been great. You're almost at 200 workouts. I think we did the math, it was like 28 pounds or so that you've dropped. You have a good thing going with nutrition now. You're able to do a fucking push up now. So if you could go back and like give a little tip to old Alice, what would that be?
But even if it sucks.
Well, thank you so much for coming on here, Alice. Congratulations on being a happy, healthy homo. I think you did a fucking awesome job. And sorry for being annoying some of those times, but we did it. You did the thing.
Yeah, I mean, again, I was paying you to be annoying. There's no there's no part of me that's like, well, that's just like Nat being annoying. It's like,
Yep.
nope, I am actually paying for Nat to being annoying.
Happy I was able to deliver. All right, y'all. If you want me to annoy you too, come through, pull up. Make sure you subscribe, like, and maybe you too can be somebody's fitness inspo. So, thanks.